What is up, Bears fans? Welcome to the Bears Huddle podcast, your UK take on all things Chicago Bears. Guys, I'm W. James, and this is an update. Look, news this morning breaking that the Eagles now are sniffing around our coaches. Yes, supposedly for a team that only got to the NFC divisional round by luck and by magic and by pure just jamminess and pure what's the word I'm looking for here, just a lack of talent. It wasn't down to talent, it was all down to luck apparently. Had nothing to do with the coaching, had nothing to do with the players, if you believe the inbred mutants from Green Bay. Our coaching staff seem to be becoming very popular with a number of other NFL teams. So maybe it wasn't down to luck, maybe it was down to coaching talent and the ability to coach these players to play well and to execute a game plan and to actually, go out there and win because the team's a good team and the coaches are good coaches. Maybe that was the actual reason, not that those absolute, complete and utter morons in Green Bay may tell you. Geez, I've got to say before I go on with what the actual news is, the more I read on social media, and I know social media is poisonous, from Green Bay fans, the more that I genuinely believe they are the biggest bunch of inbred mutant thickos on planet Earth. I mean, geez, my God, they are just idiots. Can't stand them. Absolutely. Fuck Green Bay. Fuck the Packers. Hate them guys. Right, look. Obviously, Al Harris has interviewed for the Packers defensive coordinator job. Please don't go there, Al. I know you were a Packers legend, but please don't lower yourself and take yourself down there. Has obviously interviewed as well for the defensive coordinator's job at the Washington Commanders as well. Bieniemy has gone off to be OC at Kansas City Chiefs. So we've already lost one coach, could lose two. Anyway, another name that is now on the block in terms of other teams sniffing around him is the Philadelphia Eagles have asked permission. This is per Adam Schefter to speak to Bears offensive coordinator Declan Doyle. Now, look, Declan Doyle obviously is the offensive coordinator. He doesn't call the plays. Obviously, Ben Johnson is the offensive genius behind that. But Declan Doyle does still play a major role in the Bears offense. And losing Declan Doyle, yes, will be not great because obviously, he's been part of the success of the offense this season. The offense has been very, very good this season. You've only got to look at the offensive stats to know how good our offense have been this year. This offense has made absolute leaps and bounds, and Caleb has made leaps and bounds as well. And you can kind of obviously give Declan Doyle credit for the improvement in Caleb. I mean, the Bears' offense ranks 6th in total yards, 10th in passing yards, 3rd in rushing, and 9th at 25.9 in points per game. So, big improvements there. A top offense, this Chicago Bears offense is, and Declan Doyle has played a role in that. Now, the Eagles have a vacant offensive coordinator's position and apparently want to speak to Declan Doyle as regards this. Now, this is no guarantee that, of course, he will get the job. I'm sure they are interviewing others and asking others and talking to others around the league about this. But yet again, another coach is being picked at by an opposition team. I think, look, this is what happens when you get good. And I think we've kind of been so used to being bad in Chicago that no one wants our coaches. You can't even give them away. But now we have got to a situation where we are good, where we are playing well, we are a good side, a good team. Opposition teams are coming, they're picking over our players, picking over our coaching staff, and we could well lose a few. And I think Ben Johnson was right in a number of things that he said. That one, that the team will look very different in 2026, and I think we include the coaching staff in that difference. Also, not just that, but 2026 will be starting all over again because we will be starting from foundation with a lot of things. We could end up with a new offensive coordinator, a new running backs coach, a new defensive backs coach. That is just to start off with. That's before, obviously, the holes at safety on the defensive line, edge rusher that we have to address in this situation. The 27 free agents as well. There's an awful lot of work to do, and perhaps losing Declan Doyle will add to that workload for Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson. But whatever happens, Ben will play a huge role in appointing a successor if Declan Doyle does move on. Because as Brad Biggs said, the main man at Hallis Hall in terms of football and football operations is Ben Johnson. This is Ben's team, and it'll be left to Ben to put together this team. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. Could Declan Doyle be on his way out as well? Would be a loss, but look, something you've got to get used to when you're being successful, and I'd rather lose coaches when we're being good and be good than actually be stink and no one want our coaches. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bear down.